At this point, what's left to say? And well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watsu-K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. So, the Jets, if you had any question that the Jets might have something left to play for in the season, well, that got taken care of today. I predicted a 34-10 defeat. It turned out to be 34-13. I guess they exceeded my expectations. But before I get into that, I'm going to tell you a story that just kind of summarizes where this all is. This afternoon, my father sends me a text message. Now, he's not the biggest technology guy. He's not into streaming or anything like that. But he said he was subscribing to Prime. Now, he's a Dallas fan. He's not a Jets fan. He said to me he was subscribing to Prime for this game so he could watch it after the Rangers-Flyers game ended. After the game ended, I called him and said, I know you've made a few decisions in your life you probably regret, but is this not one of the top 5 worst decisions you have ever made in your 73 years on Earth? The Jets dropped the 4-7, and the only thing left to watch for now is the Tankathon standings to find out where their first-round draft pick will fall in next spring's draft. And with the quarterback situation, you know what? It confirmed what most of us already knew. Timboyle is just another quarterback who does not belong in the NFL. The Jets have several of them at this point. It shows you again, yes, Zach Wilson was a problem for this offense, but the issues run so much deeper. Let's give you this analogy again. If you're driving a car and the engine is about to fall out of the car, the battery's about to die, you're driving on 4-slash tires, you're not going to get too far. It doesn't matter who's driving the car. You have an offensive line playing with 4 backups, and then 2 more backups to those backups. You have maybe 1 legitimate wide receiver. You have 1 running back, although we have another one who can't seem to get in the game. I don't know what this coaching staff's thinking about. Not playing Izzy Abanikanda, as far as I could tell, in the entire game. But going forward, it's clear. You need a legitimate backup quarterback. You need at least 2 offensive linemen. You need at least another wide receiver. But this game, wow, it will be, just to focus on this game before it's easy to look down the road, but I want to spend a minute on this game and just what it encapsulates. It will go down as another embarrassing standalone game for the Jets when the spotlight was directly on them and they had to have a play that will live in infamy, that they will be getting made fun of forever. The Hail Mary play. And even when brandinechols before that had the pick 6, it was a good feeling, but deep down it's like, okay, great, but this is not a sustainable way to win football games because the offense did absolutely nothing. They did nothing, especially in the first half. They didn't run a play in Miami territory until that fatal play. And when gregzuerlein, who's been so reliable, misses the extra point, you had to know even more, it was not the Jets' day. It was a flash in the pan. But 6 plays later, DJ Reed picks off Tua, and I'm feeling pretty good at this point. I'm feeling like, oh, okay, Miami gets the ball to start the second half. But you know what? They're playing with some heart. They're playing with some energy. Let's see what happens. But 2 seconds left. The Jets are on the Miami 45. Again, their first play in Miami territory all day long. And I was all for trying a play. I had no desire to take a knee when this is the farthest they've been in Miami territory all game long. I was fine with the idea. I really was. So throwing the ball, fine. I doubted Timboyle could get the ball to the end zone, but I felt it was worth a try. And they throw the ball, and there were 4 receivers in the end zone. And to me, it was just like the Miami defenders were keeping all of them out of the way, saying, here, Jevonholland, we're going to give you some free reign. Go run the ball back. And it wasn't designed terribly. I mean, Breece Hall's in the back, to help protect. He gets knocked down. But this ended the game once and for all. ESPN, from what I could see, has been tracking Hail Mary passes as a type of play going back to 2006. And this is the first time ever that a defense returned a Hail Mary for a touchdown. And I'm not going to get over dramatic here. I'm not going to yell and scream. I've done that enough the last couple of weeks. I'm not going to say it ended the season because you know what? It was already over. Even if the Jets win out now, they probably still miss the playoffs. It's just frustrating now. We are up to 13 years now, no playoffs. And I don't know if and when it's ever going to change. I really don't know anymore. I really don't. But let's get into the 3 key plays you may not remember that affected the outcome of the game. I got to say, with most games, it takes me a while. The last week or two, it's been easy coming up with the plays because these games are pretty much over by the second quarter. They really are. You go to the first Jets drive of the game, 13-24 to go in the first quarter. Jets have a 2nd and 10. Now, they've converted a first down. Now, after an incomplete pass, they really need some yards here because they cannot get stuck in 3rd and long. We talk over and over about the difficulty the Jets have had with 3rd downs, and so often it's because they're facing 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, or whatever. So on 2nd and 10, what does the genius offensive coordinator do? He runs Breece Hall, and Jaelenphillips blows him up for a 2-yard loss. That pretty much kills the drive. The Jets get 5 useless yards on 3rd down. They punt. Ball goes to Miami. The Jets can't score on their first drive of the game with the new quarterback. Play number 2. Let's go to the second quarter. There was 3:32 left in the first quarter. It's Miami's second drive. They get a first down. They're on the Jets' 47-yard line. And on first down, Jeff Wilson, who's barely played this season, runs for 14 yards. He gets all the way into the secondary, and Whitehead and Gardner have to tackle him. And just like that, the Fins are in field goal range. They get 9 more yards, and Jasonsanders drills one from 38 yards. Fins score first, 3-0. It may as well have been 23-0. And as good as we could say the Jets' defense has been, they have done what they can. They have been too prone to giving up these big runs. Yes, a part of that is because Al Woods went down. It was a terrible loss. But the Jets, as tough as they could play, as violent as they could play, their tackling fundamentals, many of them, are just not good enough. And we could run through the players who are guilty of that. Jordan Whitehead, chief among them. Gardner is not a great tackler either. But yeah, the run defense to me, that is an area of concern for me, especially going into next season. The only thing I feel that needs to really be addressed on the defense is that run defense, because it isn't good enough. And then play number 3, this play right here. Oh my gosh. This play, the Jets are down 10-0. They've done nothing on offense. At this point, I think it was like 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, whatever it was. They have a 3rd down and 3 on their own 43-yard line. And to me, this play just encapsulates this whole game and encapsulates the last month or two. Christianwilkins flies past Xaviernewman, and oh my God, I never want to see Newman on the field for the Jets ever again. I would almost rather see Billy Turner than Xaviernewman at this point. Almost. But timboyle never has a chance. He gets absolutely slammed to the turf. And to me, that game just sums up exactly what the Jets are doing with this offensive line. Again, no quarterback's going to work. The receivers don't have a chance to separate because the offensive line can't hold up. They just can't. There was no Becton, no Connor McGovern, no Wes Schweitzer, no AVT, no Dwayne Brown. Do we have to keep going, for crying out loud? And I'll tell you what. So those are the 3 key plays. I'll give you a couple of stats from the game. Then I'll talk about something that I want to address going forward. I'm actually going to look a little bit more at the halftime stats because it was just so stark. The final stats don't mean as much to me in this game because Miami's playing prevent defense. The Jets got some yards and they got in the end zone. Whoop-de-freaking-do. But I'm going to focus just on halftime. Okay, when the game was really up for grabs at least in terms of the score. Okay, total plays, the Jets had 19, Miami had 40, over twice as many. First downs, the Jets had 2, Miami had 12. 3rd down conversions, guys, I cannot stop talking about this. Jets are 0 for 5. Miami went 5 for 9. At one point, when you factor in last week against Buffalo, the Jets went 24 straight 3rd downs that they did not convert. Total yards. This one is just going to make you puke. The Jets had 44 total yards in the first half. Miami 214. And time of possession, the Jets had the ball for 10 minutes and 12 seconds. Miami for 19:48. Absolutely brutal. Absolutely pathetic just another national TV embarrassment. And going forward, in a season where there are still 6 meaningless games left to go, I want to tell you what I'm most concerned about. It's about the Jets front office and coaching staff in one particular department. For the last time, stop giving us news about the recovery of Aaron Rodgers. I don't want to hear about it. If I was in charge, if I was Woody Johnson, I would ban every coach, every Jets employee from watching the Pat McAfee show on Tuesdays. Rodgers brought all his players in, all his boys in. All of them have absolutely sucked for the Jets this year without him. They are those types of players who cannot succeed and coaches who cannot succeed without one of the absolute greatest of all time basically showing them what to do. If Aaron Rodgers is still a great quarterback, he can elevate anybody. You saw what he did with Allen. We know what he did with Allen Lazard. Aaron Rodgers is so good that he was responsible for Allen Lazard getting a 4-year contract with $22 million guaranteed, $44 million total. I don't want to see Rodgers on a football field again until next training camp, not a day sooner. Because this line can't protect a quarterback. As I said, they're down 4 starters on the offensive line and 2 backups. As a whole, this team has no spirit left, no heart, no will. They have an offensive coordinator who has absolutely no idea how to coach. There are Pop Warner football coaches who are more adept at calling plays than Nathaniel Hackett. I thought his father was a disaster. He makes his father look like Bill Walsh. That's how bad Nathaniel Hackett is. And if you doubt if this team has any spirit left, watch again Raheem Mostert running through the touchdown like my boning knife did through the turkey breast on Thanksgiving afternoon. It would be organizational malpractice to let Aaron Rodgers return to the football field during 2023. I don't give a damn how his recovery is going. And here's my biggest question, and here's what I'm scared of. Do the Jets coaches, does the Jets organization have the cojones, have the wherewithal to tell him, Aaron, no. It is not good for you. It is not good for us. It is too much of a risk. Get right. Get healthy. And let's really make that one run of it next year, because if we don't, our asses are all getting kicked to the curb. Guys, those are my thoughts on the Jets game today against the Miami Dolphins. Let me know your thoughts. Put them right down there in the comments. We'll be doing the Wednesday Night Live show, as we always do, next Wednesday at 10 p.m. Please join me, and I'll see you right back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair. Be good, everybody.